Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Quantum Recovery Podcast. Today, I am talking about light bulbs. This is actually one of the simplest things that you can do to change your light environment. One of the most common things I've been talking about is how there are three needle movers for people in addiction recovery to help with get your circadian rhythm back on track, right? The obvious one, we can block the blue light by using blue blocking glasses. I've talked extensively about this, and you can go back and listen to my blue blocker guide. It's a video and it's also a real guide. So there's a link in the show notes and description of this podcast so you can get your free blue blocking guide. But honestly, of all the things for us to, you know, help our health in our modern day living, so 90% of us are living our life indoors now. And one of the simplest things we can do is go outside, but it's not always that simple for everyone. The easiest thing that I've done on my journey is change out light bulbs. So this is just a matter of knowing which light bulbs to buy. I'm going to share some of my favorite things with you today, and I am an affiliate of the companies that except for one, I'm sharing with you. Well, technically two, and that'll make sense when I explain them all, but I'm going to share with you my favorites. So the best cost-effective light bulb that I have found, these light bulbs are $15. They're from this company called Midwest Red Light Therapy. This company is it's really great pricing for what is offered and really high quality. They have a lot of different products, but I'm talking today about light bulbs. This is one of my favorites. Now, if you are listening to this, I just want to let you know, you might want to watch this one on YouTube because I'm going to be doing a lot of show and tell. So Midwest Red Light Therapy has amazing red bulbs and orange ones. The orange ones I have in my lamps, and these come on in the evening. Now, the red one I have next to my bed. Think red before bed. If you hang out in this light, if you were to put the red light bulbs in the living room, that's fine and everything. But just like when we put our red blue blockers on, we will get sleepier. So if I want to do some things in the evening, especially now that we're going into winter, the season is going to shift. It is going to be getting dark out earlier. So if you want to still be a little bit productive in the evening, I would opt for the orange light bulb in the living room area or the common area where you might be doing things, and the red one for right by your bedside. So when you need to see at night, you can see. Now, this company, oh, I should have brought it in here, but I didn't. But they also sell these little plugins that go into the outlet. So for instance, if you need to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, you don't need to worry because, we want to optimize our bedroom and have it as blacked out as possible. We're not talking about that right now, but I will mention there is a sticky red light covering film that I have on my website that's very cheap. It's like $9 for a whole roll, and you get a really big roll, and you just cut out little stickers and you can put those on all the lights that might be illuminated in your room. For instance, you might have a light on your outlet that you can't control. You can either put black electric tape over that, or you can use this red stick tape. So that is going to help black out the room. So for me, my bathroom is facing the neighbor. This neighbor on this side, he loves his blue lights and they shine in the window. So I just shut that bathroom door, and then I open the other bathroom door, and I have the red little in case I need to go to the bathroom at night. In fact, I can't chalk this up to really anything except all in all, I've been on this journey for a couple of years now, but I don't get up in the middle of the night to pee as much. So that's kind of a nice side effect. But there are times where I still do get up to go to the bathroom periodically. So I do want that light. And also my dogs might get up and I want them to be able to see their pee pee pad and whatnot. So I want that light for them, but that light is not going to disrupt my sleep because I'm also wearing a sleep mask and there's no other light coming in. And that light is in a bathroom with the door not all the way closed, but just cracked. So that's how I do it in my house because I got little dogs, and some of you who have children, the kids might need to see, or someone might be scared of the dark. You certainly don't want their circadian rhythm disrupted. So those little plug-in lights that are sold by this Midwest red light therapy company are really good. And there's another company that I love as well called Block Blue Light. Now, Block Blue Light, they have a lot of cool products as well. So I'm going to show you some of the things that I get from them. So, oh, here it is. So it comes in this box. This is a 3-way bulb. And you don't have to have you don't have to change any thing in your house as far as electrical. It works off the switch. So you put this light bulb in any fixture. So I have this in my kitchen, and every other light in the house, it has an orange light bulb in it if it's in the common area. And then in the bedroom, I have the red light bulbs. So I no longer use regular LED bulbs, which is these kind. There are other examples of LED bulbs out there. This is just one of the extras that I happen to have. So I'm using it as an example of what I used to have. I don't have any more. Now I have the Block Blue Light 3-way bulb. So this bulb, you flick the switch and it goes into a full spectrum mode in the day. And then you flick it again and it goes to a very little amount of blue light, very low blue light. And then the third one is no blue light. So you have a nighttime mode. So this is the bulb that I have in my kitchen. Now, this bulb is also a little bit more expensive than these bulbs. These bulbs are $15. I think this bulb is $30, but I do have a discount code for both of these companies, so it'll be a little less for you. But I really love this bulb for the kitchen because sometimes I need to see a little bit more and I don't want to have to worry about having a really bright, I just don't. There's plenty of light coming in from the windows and I keep windows open as much as I can. Of course, that is another hack, is opening the windows, keeping the blinds open so that natural light comes in, and also keeping the physical window open because that lets in the full spectrum light from the outside. Because remember, just having a window, the blinds open, is not going to protect you as far as, or not protect, but it's basically putting an artificial filter on the sun, and it's letting a lot of blue light in because 40 to 60% of the near infrared light is being blocked, and pretty much all of the UVA and the UVB light is being blocked when you're just behind a window. So that means when we're driving in our car, when we're in our house, we do want to have the windows open as much as we can. Now we're going into winter, so that might not always be feasible if it's really cold outside, right? So we want to have full spectrum, nice lighting in our houses. Now, another little hack that I love going to estate sales, and I'm often with my mom because she has a vintage store, and so we're at estate sales and places that have cool antiques. So I actually found this really cool red bulb. I didn't save the box. I should have, but I'm trying not to save things that aren't necessary. But this is from the 70s. And this is a really cool light bulb. So this actually is an extra light bulb I have for my macrame lamp that I have in my living room. Right now, there's an incandescent old-fashioned bulb on that. I actually don't turn that lamp on a lot because there is a lot of flicker in that bulb, and this is my backup. I think I did test this one for flicker, and the flicker wasn't as bad as the bulb that's in there, but it's mostly there kind of for decoration. We don't really turn it on that much, and the bulb is it's actually bigger than this one. It's really big. So it's more decorative. So I keep it. It's not like we're underneath that light. But you might be asking, well, Andeea, what is flicker? What does that mean? So light bulbs can have a flicker, and it's not really something we can see with our naked eye. The flickering you can test by taking your phone and recording on slow motion for 30 seconds and then playing it back to yourself. Then you will actually be able to see if your light bulb is flickering or not. So that's a little test you can do, especially with the incandescent bulbs and the older antique bulbs. You might want to do that. So what's happening when the flickering is happening? It's actually keeping our sympathetic nervous system activated. Now, if you're a human on the planet Earth right now, you got enough stress and all these things that you need to worry about. We don't need our sympathetic nervous system turned on for nothing. And so we don't want to be under a light that's having a flickering effect. Okay. So, and there's other things like tech devices and things that also can flicker. And that's a way that you can test so you can actually see if flickering is happening. So, there's that. Now I want to also talk about some other products that I use from the black blue light. So we're in fall, so we're going to be going into the holidays. I've actually never been a person that decorates for the holidays, but guess what? My husband loves lights, like loves Christmas lights, like a lot. He always has to decorate the house, and I don't want to be a Grinch. So I let him do whatever he wants outside, like all the colors, and it looks pretty, and it is cool to see, and it makes the house look nice. Now, however, I set a boundary for the Christmas tree in the house. The Christmas tree in the house is red lights. So we do the Christmas lights. Actually, Midwest Red Light Therapy also sells Christmas lights, and so does Black Blue Light. So these are red Christmas lights that have no flicker in them. So you don't have to worry about that. So another thing with Christmas lights, you are going, or holiday decorative lights in general, you are going to want to test those for flicker too. Now, obviously, if your lights have some kind of feature where they're blinking, you can obviously see that it's blinking because it's decorative and it's doing the fun things that lights do. That's obviously flickering that you can see with your visible eye. So it is going to, I don't know how much damage that is going to be doing to your sympathetic nervous system, but you certainly can see it. So I can't imagine that it's good. So we always turn our Christmas lights off at night so those lights aren't shining in on our neighbors' homes or our own home. And they're definitely not, flickering all night long. We would not want that. Another cool thing that they sell at Black Blue Light are these no blue light strips. So these are super cool. And I actually bought these specifically for our camper. And I'm manifesting for a camping van, and these are going to go in the camping van. So these are going to be lights that that you can put like behind something. It's a nice accent light, but it's not blue. So most decorative lights inside of things like camper vans, campers, and things like this, they typically will be a blue light. So these I'm going to make sure go in there so I can make it as circadian friendly as possible. Let's see. Okay, so we went over all of the black blue light. Oh, and black blue light also has this cool the cool plug-in lights. And one of my favorite, oh my gosh, I can't believe I forgot the plug-in lights. And then one of the other really cool things from Black Blue Light that I use pretty much every day and is in my travel bag. Well, there's two things always in my travel bag. I always have a red light bulb in my travel bag because if I have to stay at a hotel, the first thing I do is change the light bulb beside the bed. Then other thing I have in my travel bag is the book light from Black Blue Light. I love that book light a lot. And so does my husband. It comes in 3 different modes. I also use it for when I'm knitting and I need to see my knitting and it's dark. I use the book light for that as well. So if you are a knitter, that's a little circadian hack for you, is getting one of the black blue light book lights for your knitting. So now we come to Hygge bulbs. So these bulbs are from Amazon and they look like this. And I have these in my bathroom. So I have one of those obnoxious strips that holds like a million light bulbs. I think it holds not a million. It holds like 6. So I have the Hooga bulbs in every other one, and then I have regular bulbs in the rest of them, but I have them lightly unscrewed so they don't turn on. And the reason I left them like that is because I don't know, I was not I used to be in the makeup industry and I hardly wear any makeup anymore, but for some reason I was just like, well, what if I need to do my makeup or something for something, I don't know, and I need to see just I need to see. I left them in there, but honestly, I've never turned them on. So, probably gonna just switch them all out for the Hooga bulbs because I don't there's never a situation where I've had to see, and these are actually really, really low blue light, but if you look at the spectrometer reading on the side of the box, you can see that there is a little bit of blue. So that's why I really love the bathroom red light that plugs into the outlet, because even though I have these these are like yellow bug light bulbs, even though I have these in there, they technically would have a little bit of blue that would disrupt your evening melatonin. So you don't want that. And the whole point of using and changing the lighting is so we don't disrupt those hormone signals. So it's very important still, even though you are using these light bulbs and you've changed things out, that you still block the blue light with your blue blockers, because you are going to be possibly on your device, or maybe you turn on the TV. Now, some TVs have settings that you can turn down, and your phone definitely has that. I always link in my show notes the how to turn your phone screen red. So there's that. But what if you have to go on to something and you don't have a control? So you just, I don't know, out of good habit and practice, I always have my blue blockers on. And there's the Iris and then the iFlux. Either one of those you can put on your computer. I have both of those on my website, and I'll link them in the show notes. Pretty much everything is in my recommendations tab that I've talked about today under light, with the exception of course, this cool antique bulb that I found, and the Hooga bulbs. These actually, I think I have the Hooga bulbs on the website for a resource. Now, another bulb that I haven't talked about, and I did have a whole box of them and I couldn't find the box, but I got them on Amazon. They're incandescent bulbs. Incandescent bulbs, as of August 2023, are no longer being manufactured, but you can still find them. So when you are maybe shopping at an estate sale or you are going online, if you can find incandescent bulbs, that's an option. Now, you may have, think about, oh, well, Andeea, those are the ones that get warm and they're not very energy efficient. So for me personally, I actually don't use incandescent bulbs that much. I usually use these these other colors. It's just easier. But when I do use an incandescent bulb or a um antique bulb, those do have flicker, so you have to be careful. They're usually, at least in the ones that I've found, like for instance, the decorative one that I have in my lamp in the other room is it's really there for decoration. I don't have it on that much, but all to say, you might be thinking, well, they warm up, and didn't we make energy efficient bulbs so we would save on energy? Yes, most certainly they did. And with these regular LED bulbs, what they did to save the energy is they focused the light all in on one color. That's how it's saving energy. And that color that they focused in on to save energy was blue. And unfortunately, that blue spectrum in the light, it's not being balanced out by anything else. It's concentrated solely on that. That is how it's saving energy, but at the cost of your health. So at the end of the day, if you are having if things are manifesting because you're under artificial light at night and you're having symptoms of blue light toxicity, is that worth saving a couple bucks on your energy bill? For me, it's not. So, and also I have not really noticed anything in my energy bill also as far as changing out light bulbs. And I do not use that many incandescent bulbs, but I do have them in case I want a more normal lit environment, like a normal lit room. For instance, when I actually saved all my LED bulbs, and the reason why is because when we sell this house, which we eventually will, the realtor told me, you got to change all your light bulbs or nobody's going to be able to like see the house. So there are instances where I'm not going to throw away all my perfectly good LED bulbs. I'm going to keep them for that instance when I do need to change everything back out. So I'm saying that and mentioning it because I don't want people to be wasteful and just go throwing out your old light bulbs. Do keep them for if you need them for some reason. There might be a day that you need them for, like, for instance, the reason I just said. But the other thing is that's really important that I want to mention is now when we are out in the sun, our bodies have a built-in warning mechanism. So the UVB and the UVA light, they only penetrate into the skin so far. And when the light stops, there's actually nerve endings there. So if I'm laying out in the sun, right, and I've had too much sun, I get a little bit warm. My skin might start turning a little bit red, or I just get warm. That's a signal. That's a signal I need to go inside, or I need to seek Mother Nature's sunscreen, which is shade. I need to put a hat on, put more clothes on, whatever the case may be. Anyway, built-in warning signal. For blue light, there isn't. Blue light penetrates into the skin so far deep that it goes into the fat layer where there is no nerve endings. So it's not like you are looking at your phone or watching TV at night or whatever, and your body or your brain triggers, hey, you've had enough blue light. That's not happening. We can just take that in and we would never know that it's too much. So this is encompassing what I wanted to share about light bulbs. Remember, this is the easiest thing that you can do to change your light environment. Now, one thing I want to say is sometimes family members might not understand the reason that you're doing these things. And that is definitely an issue. So you might have family members that they don't want red lights in the house or orange light or whatever. I would strongly recommend then start with the block blue light bulbs that are the 3-way, where you just flick the switch and there's 3 different lights. That's an option. And another option are the Hygge bulbs. These bulbs are not as, I want to say dark, but they're not as drastic of a change as the orange and the red. Okay. So that would be my suggestion, is getting the block blue light 3-way bulb or start with the Hygge lights. So, but for your own personal use, I would always do the red next to the bed. Red next to the bed rhymes, easy to remember. And keep one of these in your travel bag for when you stay at a hotel. And then I just have one of these just in my travel bag, so I never forget it. It's just there. So I think that is it, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me in this episode this week, and I'll see you next time. Drink water. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you found value in this information. And if you did, please share it. Another way to support the podcast is to leave a 5-star review. If you want to connect, you can message me on Instagram or email me at ANDEEARAE@outlook.com. And remember, drink water.